Good morning. My name is Tammy, and I'd like to welcome you to Tammy's Stitches. This is my little tiny corner of Berwick, Maine, where I come to you every Friday, and we talk about cross stitch, or what I've done during the week. Greetings from Maine, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and doing all the YouTube-y things. I'd also like to thank all my regular subscribers. Thank you so much for coming back week after week. You have no idea how much I really appreciate it. So, let's get started, shall we? I don't have any FFOs or finishes. I did try though, but there was a oops with the one that I was hoping that I finished this week. Okay, so let's start with the starts. Okay. First off, I had a restart, and here it is. I was looking at my original one, and I realized that it was extremely messy, and I didn't like it. And I was doing it 2/1 on a 20 count Ada. Well, that gets kind of thick. So I wasn't exactly impressed with it. So, there it is. So I restarted this on this is Fox in the Forest by Celtic Rose Cross Stitch on Etsy. I restarted this on March 16th, 2026. I'm stitching it on a 20 count Ada 1/1, and I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 5,000 stitches. Out of 50,176 stitches, I've completed 200, and I am at 0.40%. And oops, it's the back, I believe. Nope, that's the back. Oh, okay, I see. And here's where I am. Now the blue marks right here, and I know there's two over this way, but this one right here is the right one, is a page. So I've done 200 stitches so far, and when I work my way over, I'm going to go right to that blue mark and maybe go a little bit, one stitch over on every other row, to try to feather it out, so I don't get page lines with any luck. So there's that. And there are a lot of dark colors, but you can see that all the colors over here, other than the black, are supposed to look like a leaf. And I do believe that if you look here, this right here is the leaf that's in there now. So, it took me all day, pretty much, on Monday to get that much done. It was ridiculous, because I was having issues with my washing machine, and, it was raining, so I couldn't take my dog out. I just had a really hard time focusing on it. But I'm gonna pull this out again sometime and put in another 200 to 400 stitches. Oops, got the card. Gotta put the card back in there. Alright, and then the next thing I did was I've been waiting to start this one forever. And it's Jardin Prive, Lady Halloween. And ever since I've seen a couple people do this, I've absolutely fell in love with it. But I changed mine up a little bit. I started this on the 17th, March 17th, 2026. And I'm stitching it on a March 25 Fabric of the Month from Dying for Cross Stitch. No name, no nothing. And instead of using the DMC 317318, I decided that I was going to use DMC 208 and 210 along with the black, the 310. And there's as far as I got. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, you can even see the light purple on this fabric. So, it is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it, and I'm going to try to definitely get this one out more often. So there is that one. I put in 200 stitches on that one, and I don't know. I'm going to have to think about when I can do this one again. Alright, there's that one. And then where Friday was Friday the 13th, I thought that I would, here it is, pull out a couple of my goth dolls. Which is for. And one of them I thought I was was evening up. Unfortunately, that did not happen. No, I don't know what happened with that one, but somehow along the line I got very confused. So I do have to go back and even it up eventually. But this was the first one. This is Goth Girl Wednesday. And this was a mystery sow from Lizzie's Little Loops on Etsy. And she ended up just giving you the rest of them because she got sick. And I was like, alright. So I ended up, even though I already had two to begin with, I ended up buying the whole package. Oops, nope, that's the one I'm looking for. So, I was trying to get, 600 stitches. Instead, I ended up with 719. And I started with 419. So, my goal for this is 1,500 stitches. And there is 3,422. And I have completed 719, and I'm at 21 even, 21% even. And here we are. I got some of her hair in. I got half the ornate frame done. I need to do the other half here. It's a lot of black. So. And I'm doing this on I started this on June 22nd, 2025. Doing this on an 18 count vintage storm clouds, and I'm using the Call for DMC. And we'll see how much 1500 gets me, and if it gets me close to a finish, I'll finish it. Okay, So that was 300 stitches, and for the letter W because it was Goth Girl instead. The next one I did was Goth Girl Sally. And I put in 200 stitches. Okay. Let's see, I know I got a card in here somewhere for this one. Oh, that's because this one's this one. It's done on a different color. This is Bellatrix. Okay. This is Goth Girl Sally, and also from Lizzie's Little Loops. And I started this one on October 20th, 2025. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Valor. My goal is 1,500, and out of 3,344 I have completed 400, and I am at 11.96% complete. And here we are. This ornate top is a little bit more complicated, but that's alright, we'll figure it out. And I'm loving how this is turning out. I'm loving how all of them are turning out, actually. And I'm starting everyone, there's like 8 of them, and I'm starting all with the frame. So, there is that one. I think I might keep this one out. Okay, next one is it's been a Jardin Prive week. Okay, first one was a Jardin Prive Summer Quaker. And I evened this one up, so there is quite a bit. This is Jardin Prive Summer Quaker. I started this on June 6th, 2025. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Ariel, picture this plus. I'm using Silky 4016. My goal is 3,000, and I have completed 1,400. I've got a ways to go before I get the goal done. But I do believe that I worked on all of this. And I still have a few more stitches to go. And then I'm going to start working on this side. So that'll be a couple of flowers and this motif. I got thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I think what I'm going to do next month, starting next month, is I'm going to work on this one for a week, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to work on spring for a week, and then I'm going to work on summer for a week, autumn for a week, winter for a week, and then so that's April, and then in May start all over again with going down the line, because I really want to get these done. I like doing them, you know, and you know, even if I just finish a motif in a week, then that's better than having it sit and do nothing. So I got 297 stitches, and I made that an even. We evened it up. Excuse me. All right. Then I pulled out. Where are you? I don't know that. Pulled out the spring Quaker. Here it is. Now this one I really got excited about, because not only did I even it up, but I got my goal of 3,000 stitches done. So this is Spring Quaker by Jardin Prive, and I started this on May 27th, 2025. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Havisham, and I'm using Sulky 4020. My goal was 3,000, and I got 3,000. I put in 340 stitches to get 3,000. And here we are. So I worked a little bit in here, and then I was like, So I went over and started doing the rest of the letters. So the next time I work on this, I'm going to finish up the letters, and then I'm going to go over to this side here, because there's a rose that comes down this way, and there's a few other little elements, and then I'm going to try to finish up this one. I am not putting 2022 in here. What I think I'm going to do is, if you look real close, like right here, there are a bunch of these little flowers, and some of them go one way and some of them go the other. So on the, where it says 20, I'm going to put one that goes one way, and with the 2022 the other way, because I really don't want the year in there. So, but I like this color, this Havisham, and I love the kind of muted camo that I'm putting in. So here we go. You know, when I cut these pieces out, I use a quilting ruler, and I don't understand why my margins come out so weird. But anyway, there's that one. So there we go. And what I did was, on my little board here, my finishes board, I put goals completed for 2026, and that's Spring Quaker from Jardin Prive, 3,000. And I think that's what I'm going to do next year too, is have a finished board, and then, you know, goals for the year, or things that I want to complete within the year. So there's that. These ones I'm not going to worry about keeping out until next month. And then I pulled out, this picture isn't very good, but it's the best one I got. This is the Autumn Quaker, or, yeah, by Cross Stitch Verbena. Irina Verber is the artist. And I wanted to even it up, so I did. And this I started on November 22nd, 2024. It was for a Motif Monday. I'm using an 18 count tea-dyed Ada that I did myself. and I'm using the code for DMC. My goal is to finish it, and I have, out of 7,070 stitches, I have completed 3,200, and I am at 45.26%. And these studs here, I worked on this motif down here. So working on that, I got in 180 stitches. So next time I work on this, I'm going to put in 200, 2 to 400, I don't know. I really like working on this one, so I might keep it out because I'm trying to work on my finishes. So I'm going to see which ones I can finish before the end of the year. Okay. Here's the next one. Alright, I don't have a picture of this one, but I'm going to take this and just, yep, oops, and this is the Witchy Sampler, and I started this on August 9th, 2025, stitching it on an 18 count Oaken Pictureless Plus, and this is also from Cross Stitch Verbena. And I'm using Dying for Sass, Shades of Black, and Bat Tears. My goal is to finish it. I've put in 800 stitches so far. So I just have to finish up the boots here and put decorative, cat, decorative. And I'll be all done. So who knows? Maybe I'll attempt to finish this weekend or next week. I don't know. This weekend, Laura, Stitching by the Shore, is doing her whip workout connections, and I'm participating in that. I had fun when I did it the last time, so. Oh yeah. Okay. So this one I didn't do very well on. I just wasn't feeling it, I guess. This is Wonderland Teacups. Let me get the picture out here. There it is. This is from Pixie Stitch. And this is an oldie. I started this on January 25th, 2023. I'm stitching it on a 14 count Peach Blossom from Forbidden Fiber Company. That is the one in now only Fabric of the Month that I have. And I started with 14 count and I could not get 16, so I went right to 18, and I've been getting 18 ever since. I put in 85 stitches, which brought me up to 994. And all 85 stitches went into this cup. So I really have to get this out and try to focus on it to get more done, because if I don't, I'm never going to get it done, and I really would like to have this one out off my plate, so to speak. So I think I'm going to try again next week. Alright, next was Wizard Gnomes. This is from Stitch Designs, and I'm doing this with a friend. We're doing our own little Sal. Well, with two friends actually. I'm doing one with Lucy, who's in Scotland, and she and I have both this one. And my friend Sally, who's in Scotland. And we both have this particular one. And I'm doing it with my friend from Ohio, Lucy. And she's doing a Soda Stitch gnome. Not necessarily this one, but she's doing one. So there's that. And I love this. I love this fabric. I love the pattern. I just love everything about it. So I started this on March 6th, 2026. I'm stitching on an 18 count Flu powder from 2-4 Fabrics, and you can find her on Etsy. She does 14, 16, 18, 28, 32, and 36, I believe. And I'm using the called for floss, except anything white is going to be Floss. B5200 Floss. And oh, I forgot to update my card. Oops. My goal is 2,500. I've completed 400, and I didn't change the percentage either, so I'm not quite sure what that is. Hold on a minute, I can find out. Oh, where did I put my... Ah, 8.18%. And I will write that down real quick. I got a black pin in here somewhere. Here we go. I'll try this one. Okay. 8.18%. And 400. So I have a feeling I'm going to take this out every week, and hopefully until it's done. If not, you know, attempt to finish it. So whether it's on, you know, I'm not going to really... This is for the letter W. I started this one also for Gnome though, but I think I'm just gonna, like I said, continue to pick and choose. I have not done the last one I need to do for this month, and I don't know if I'm going to. I might change it. Because I don't feel like working on Thanksgiving right now. Whoop. Oh. So, yeah, I did that. Alright. There we go. Here's that one. Okay. And then, I hadn't pulled out this one since I started it, and there's really not much secret, it's just background. But, it's alright. This is Witch's Brew by Cloak. And yes, it's paper, but you know what? It's fine. Because most of it right now is background. So, there's only one color that I'm working on, 823. And, yeah, this one's a little short too. See, this right here is the end. So I don't know what happened. Because like I said, I do use a, quilt ruler. But anyway, what I worked on was background here. So I started this on January 27th. I'm doing it on a 20 count easy guide fabric. I don't like doing 2 over 1, but so I started with this one, so we'll just continue. My goal is 5,000. I don't know how many's in here, but so far I've completed 400, and I am at 4,600. So I don't think I did too bad. Alright, this is going to be a long one because there's a lot of background. Oh. Huh. Didn't see that, but sorry. Okay. Here we go. Alright. So that was also for the letter W. Now, this one. Is this the one I'm thinking it is? I hope so. Yes, it is. Alright. Here's the one I tried to finish this week. I'm going to try again. But I have some frogging I need to do before I can do that. I couldn't figure out why, the one in the corner, not the same, but this one in the corner, actually it's this one here in the corner, wasn't coming out right. So I was like, So I went back and I looked, and towards the beginning of that acorn, I made a mistake. So this is Autumn Acorns by the Blue Flower, and I have gotten spring acorns, summer acorns, and winter acorns. So I started this on May 2nd, 2025. March 2nd, 2025. And I'm stitching this on an 18 count cream and sugar from Fiber on One. And I'm using the DMC conversion. And my goal was 1,500, and I bypassed that goal, so now I'm on to the finish. And I completed 500 stitches on this, but my goal is to finish it. So as you can see, I need to finish frogging this out, but I didn't finish this quite yet, but I put this in, finished up here, finished this, filled in all the acorns that I hadn't filled in yet, and I just have to finish this greenery, redo this acorn, put the acorn in here, put the caps on this one and this one, and then the acorn here is the same color as the feet of the star, so I can put that in, and then I'm going to go in and tackle the middle. So if I can get 200 to 300 stitches a day on this, hopefully next week I will have it finished. Hopefully. Because Now I really want to get it finished so I can start the autumn squirrel. Same colors as the autumn acorns. And I'm going to put these together in a small wall hanging. And I think I'm going to add the Halloween squirrel and the Halloween acorns with it. So when I get a little upset about that, and I didn't get it finished, I started working on another one that I have slated for a finish. And that is Candy Corn and Pumpkins by Stitches by Ethel. And I put in 200 stitches on this one. No, that's not it. This is it. Okay, this is Candy Corn and Pumpkins. I started this on October 13th, 2025 for the pumpkin birthday sale. I'm using, I think, 18 count Forbidden Fiber Company Fiber of the Month Hazelwood, and I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is to finish it. I put in another 200 stitches, so I'm up to 1,000. And here's what I did. I put in a little bit more wing. I put in a little bit more pumpkin. I put in the stem of the pumpkin, and I put in all the leaves over this way. I still have more leaves to do. I still have 2 more quilt blocks to put in. Well, actually 4 more quilt blocks to put in. There's 2 in the pumpkin, and I have to finish the wing and the body. But the mouse is done, the stem is done, these quilt blocks up here are almost done. I have a piece of white that I need to put in this one. And there we go. I really think this is cute. I have a couple of these. I have evergreen and peppermint, and I don't remember which one it is now. But I know she's got more. Oops. Can't have floss in my zipper. Not a good thing. So this one's going to stay out, and I'm going to see if I can get something finished. Okay. Now this one is for the 250th birthday of the United States, and that's this year. So I want to get it done by July 4th. That is my goal. So I have to work on it a little bit every week. So that's what I'm going to start doing. This is Plum Street Samplers Henpecked. And I started this on January 17th, 2026. That's what I started. January was the month of H. February was the month of S, and March is the month of W. And at the end of the month, we will be finding out what the letter for April is. April is also going to be the month of flowers. So most of them that I'm doing for the, like the month of flowers, is the April Quaker and some others, but I'll go over that in plans. So this I'm doing on a 16 count French lace, and I'm using the DMC conversion. My goal is 2,000. I have 1,400 left, and I have completed 600 stitches. And I started on the chicken. So I got these, I finished up this flag, put in my little chicken here, put in the little bee, finished this flower up here, started working on this little white chicken here. Plus I added a little bit more of the side border because there's another red flower down here. So I'm going to get the white chicken completed and hopefully be able to backstitch the flagpole there and the flagpole here once I get this white chicken completed. So yep, that's the look. So I really like this one. That's why I'm trying to, you know, get 200 stitches every week until it's done. I could do 200 stitches a day, but I don't want to do that. I did 100 stitches a day on a piece for a while, but I kind of got tired of that, so I stopped doing it. I might pick it up again, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so that's henpicked. Alright, the next one I worked on I thought about this one, and I think I found this in my finish pile. I don't know if this is in my finishes or not. No, it's not. But that's alright. It can still, it may not be on the list here, but I can always finish it if I want to. Because I like this one. This is the Halloween sampler, and it's very cute. It's very, very cute. And this is from Untwisted Stitches, and I started this on August 7th, 2025, using a 14 count Lavender Whisper Ada, and I'm using the called for DMC. I did even this up, so it took 187 stitches to do so. My goal is 2,000, and I have 1,400 left to complete. I am up to 600 stitches. And here we are. So I have the boo and the ghost done, but I have to backstitch it. And right here is whatever spell in the cauldron is being bubbled up. There's candy corn up here. There is tombstones here, and there's a witch's hat here. And in this one down here we have potion bottles. And then over here we have a skull and crossbones, a bat, pumpkins, and spiders. So, yes, I really like it. So I'm going to pull this out and keep this out for a little bit and try to, you know, work on it some more. Try to finish the goal, because I'm kind of on that kick right now. Evening up and finishing goals. And I didn't do as well on this one as I wanted to, but this week has been an extremely rough week. And I have not been very impressed with anything as of late. So I've been a little upset this week, and well, I don't know, but I have been, and I think part of the reason is now I have this monitor here for my glucose levels, and it hurts, it's uncomfortable. If I don't have my phone very close to me at all times, it has this horrendous alarm that goes off, and if my glucose level goes up too high, it has a horrendous alarm that goes off with my phone, so I have to have my phone in my bedroom at night. I don't like that. It really just, and I don't think it's helping, because before I was starving myself because for whatever reason, because my doctor annoyed me so much, and now I'm doing it all over again because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's right. I don't know anything right now, and I do see the lady next week. So yes, I'm throwing in a lot of life here. I'm sorry. All right. Next thing I worked on was sampler Alice in Wonderland. I'm calling it the Mad Hatter Tea Party. So I really like this one too. It's big though. It's 20. The stitch area is 20.79 by 20.79, and I don't even know what count that's on. But I'm doing mine on 25 count. I forgot the card. Sorry. I'm doing it on 25 count. And I think it's an illusion. And I'm using a very beautifully variegated Selkie. I want to say it's 4022, but I could be wrong. And I worked on this here and some of this here. I only got in 143 stitches. I don't know how many stitches I had in it originally because, like I said, I forgot my card. So, but there it is. So I think I'm going to leave this one out because I haven't worked on this one for a while. Oh, I had 790 stitches in it. And I needed to get 210 to get up to 1,000. Only got to 143. That's what it was. Okay. So, there is that one. Okay. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 projects all week. It's a lot. That is a lot. But only doing, you know, like 200 a shot would be a lot. So, let's work on plans and goals. Okay. Now, I have I'm doing the whip, the Stitching by the Shores whip workout connections that starts today. And I'm just going to start it when I get off here. So, the first thing I'm going to do is doing the spring sampler, because the word is rainy day, and as you can see, there's rain and sun and rain and sun and so on and so forth. So this is what I'm going to start with, and I'm also doing it. My friend Lucy from Ohio messaged me and told me that she wanted to start this with me. So we are starting this for the first day of spring, which is today. Today is also my husband's birthday. So I'm going to have to take a time out and make him his cookies. So there's that. And I love this one. And I am doing this on a 18 count Picture This Plus Serene. Oh, yes. There we go. That's pretty much true to color. Or as true to color as it's going to get. Now, I had ordered, and I told you about this last week, but I had ordered from Otter Creek Floss on Etsy this clover green, and I ordered 4 of them, so I should definitely have enough for the spring sampler. Plus, if I have enough, I have the perfect little green St. Patrick's gnome that I can use this on. I also ordered 2 more of the I Drank What. And I know exactly what I'm going to use these on. I have an Alice in Wonderland sampler that I want to start. So here we go. Then I found this on Etsy. This is called the Quaker Spring by Chrysalis Stitchery. And where this one has raindrops, the connection is that we have, what is it? Oh, watering cans. They both have watering cans. So, but this will be also one I start today. There's those 2. I don't know what I'm going to do it on. I don't know what kind of floss I'm going to use. Then, Pam, I also ordered a few other things from Pam. Cupid's Arrow. Now this one I want to use on the Summer Quaker from Green Terrace. I also have the Summer Quaker from Chrysalis Stitchery. So on the first day of summer, I'll be using this for the summer sampler. Now what it was I was watching Laura Stitching by the Shore, and she was doing a whip on like a lemon yellow, and she used pink to make it like strawberry lemonade, which I thought was cool, and it looks beautiful. So I thought I would get a yellowish fabric and use this on it to make it look like, you know, yeah. Then she ended up giving me a couple freebies, like she always does. We have In Loving Memory of Patsy Jane, 2226. So I'm assuming this is somebody that she knew. It's beautiful. It's like light blue going down to dark. And then I got 4 yards of this. And then we got Secret Admirer Special Edition. And I got 3 yards of this. And I love it. If I had a small monochromatic, that's what I do. And she always sends these cute little bobbins. So, I like those too. And then she also sent me this Sea Grape Surf. And it's ew, that's better. It's a beautiful tealish color. So I got this 40 count Valor, and I don't stitch on 40 count Valor Newcastle linen. So I'm giving away the 40 count Valor linen and this lovely Sea Grape Surf. So if you could use the word Otter in your comment, this is a gift from me to you, and I'm sending both the fabric and the floss. And just use the word Otter, and please be in the US. Sorry, Sally, but please be in the US because I don't want to deal with shipping overseas. So this is a gift from me to you, and please use the word Otter. So there's that. Okay, now we can move on to plans and goals, and I've got all of that out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to start connections and see how many I can get. I have some written out, but I'm gonna try to, starts today, goes to Sunday, I believe. So, and then from Friday to Sunday. And I'm really not planning on going anywhere. My daughter finishes up her driving with her instructor today. She will have a temporary permit, and she wants to fill out her information and send in for her regular permit. So she wants to drive to the post office tomorrow. I don't know. I actually met her instructor yesterday afternoon, and I'm like, you have Valium for this? And she's got to learn how to parallel park. I never learned how to parallel park. But you gotta figure out a way to do it. So maybe I'll talk to my brother-in-law. He knows how to do it. But anyway, so yeah, start the connections, and I want to work on continue with W whips. So yeah, I need to do some more of my W whips, because I did quite a few. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So yeah, continue with my W whips. Work on Noom. Go. So I'm gonna pull out my wizard gnomes again. And there was one that I found the other day that I hadn't downloaded, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I think I want to do, oops, not that one, that's wizards. Find it, because I think it's a full coverage and the background's white. If the background's white, then I just want to do the gnome itself. I don't want to stitch a whole lot of white. So, where are you? Way down at the end. I took a couple things off, so but there it is. It's isn't that beautiful? It's so cute. But I don't know if I'm going to go that way. But I think I might go this way. Yeah. He's so cute. Yeah, I don't know yet. The other thing I was thinking was anyway, where'd you go? Doing that one, because I have another half of 18 count Hufflepuff. And I have another piece coming. So I'm thinking about doing this one. It's just so cute. I don't know. We'll see. I still have a week. 3 days. So, new gnome. Okay. And then I'll pick out next week. I'll pick out 4 gnomes. One of them is going to be the book delivery, which has 3 gnomes, and I'm doing all of those separate. And one more. And I think it's going to be the summer gnome. Or the bee gnome. I have 2 of them. I'm not sure which one yet. Okay, so then for a full coverage, I'm not sure. I have a couple of thoughts, but I'm not sure what I'm going to work on. I don't know. And then, but it's not going to be a weekly focus. It's just going to be a couple of full coverages to work on a couple days a week. Like one day, one another day, like 3 days do a full coverage. 2 to 400 stitches. And then my finish, or fight to finish, is candy corn and pumpkin. The witchy sampler. And autumn acorns. So we'll see which one I get finished. And I know I need to finish the hair and the pumpkins. No. Yeah? Yeah. Hair and the pumpkins. So, I think that's pretty good. What did I do last week? I did this. I worked on Wonderland teacups. I did not work on Winter Cometh. I worked on Flocks in the Forest, September Quaker, Summer Quaker. I worked on the Wizard Gnome, not the Turkey Gnome. And I put hair and acorns, autumn acorns, witchy sampler, and candy corn and pumpkins. So I will put the hair and acorns back on here and see. So my finishes I am definitely trying to focus on. I'm hoping to get more than one done next week. Hopefully. We'll see. So if you want to enter for the gift, please don't put gift, free, any of those words that cause trolls to show up, because I don't want them. And please be over 18. Please be a subscriber. I'll take you on your word. And please, just, yeah, please be in the US too. That I appreciate. Alright, so that is all I got. I went through enough life. Sorry about that. But, it's been a rough week. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful stitchy week, and keep on stitching on, everybody. Bye.